Hi, everyone. I am here with Danielle Jocelyn. She is a friend and a teacher, sub-teacher at Lester B. Pearson School Board elementary level. We are going to be addressing students at home and how to manage that kind of break that we're having. I know it's a scary break, but it's going to be a break nonetheless, so we've got to figure out how to deal with it. And I was hoping some teachers would come on, and here you are.
Yes, nice to see you. Thank you.
So tell me, what can parents expect in terms of how to get ready? Like, their kids are going to go bonkers. So how can they prepare? How can they install programming that they can do at home? I know the government will be offering various lesson plans. So how does a person like me who doesn't have a clue how to do this and make their kids do it? How do you make I can barely keep my teen in the house to, not go out for the COVID, never mind study.
Yes, yeah. So definitely I'm a teacher, but I'm also a parent of a 3 and 5-year-old boys, 2 boys. So I've been dealing with the same thing all last week, easing into the new reality of keeping everybody busy, but also keeping them on somewhat of a familiar routine. So one thing to remember is kids do really like routine, and they're used to a certain routine, obviously being in school every day. So finding a way to adopt that at home is a great idea, but it will look a little different because our homes are not school for them, and they feel differently, in their homes than they do at school. So just looking at how we can make some things feel familiar still to them. So what I'm going to start doing, for example, would be the same way that we would have made our lunches before, the night before school. We're going to start doing that again, because that will help set up our day, have them have a little independence as well, and structure our day kind of in similar chunks the way they would at school. So a typical day, yeah, exactly. And
you'll notice how I zeroed in on the rest part.
Yeah, well, no, and this is it. So rest, recess, most kids, they'll tell you that's their favorite part of the day for good reason, because no child can sit all day doing schoolwork. They need those breaks. They need to eat, their nutritious snacks. They need to take breaks, be outside, be moving, physical activity. If it's not a great day to get outside, there's different ways to do that activity indoors. There's cosmic yoga, for example, is a yoga program a lot of kids would already know from school. And that's doing yoga off of YouTube. It's called Cosmic Yoga. And
where you literally look up Cosmic Yoga?
Yep, look up Cosmic Yoga. My son does it every day in his kindergarten class. They do that after lunch, recess.
I need Cosmic Yoga.
Yeah, so it's great for that age group, I'd say, 5, 6, maybe 7 years old. They really enjoy that. But really getting them outside once, twice, 3 times a day for these little breaks to run around, get the oxygen back pumping into their brains so that they're ready to do a little bit of learning. And the learning is going to look different at home, than it would
look like. How do I get them? What do I do to get them to sit at the table and what am I going to, how do I attack it as a schedule? Do I do math first and in class formations and modules?
It's a great question. For sure, first couple hours of the day is when they're going to be the most fresh. So if you are trying to, start your day with some math or with some language, grammar, for example, if you want to keep working on those dictate words, if you want to keep working on the verbs that they've been learning in school, if you have some of their schoolwork, continue what they've been doing. Also use the resources. I know Lester B. Pearson, my kids' school, sent over some resources for us, and they should be continuing to send more. So, you have a look at those and use them. But also no pressure to do this sort of traditional classroom learning at home, because there are other ways to get this learning happening at home. For example, baking. We've been doing baking because it's hands-on. They're reading a recipe, they're following instructions, they're measuring, they're taking turns, 3 and 5 years old. That's something we need to work on. Taking turns, with putting in the flour, putting in the sugar, and, talking about what we're doing as we go. And, that alone, there's so much learning that's happened. If you have older kids.
Measuring too.
Exactly, yeah. There's math involved. So, not to put so much pressure on, we have to do exactly like what they would have been doing at school with their teachers, because so many of us are not teachers, and so many of us, like you said, where do we start? So, take the stress away and make it fun for them, and find ways to incorporate their interests too. If you have kids who really love dinosaurs, my kids, their interest, construction trucks. So we learn about excavators, we learn about, dump trucks. And then when we're out for walks, we're looking for these things. We're talking about the different parts on the trucks, making learning fun for them, something that they're interested in and something that will excite them, to actually be learning.
Will we have a structure for the older kids who are in grade 1, grade 2, grade 3?
Yep.
I've already heard on the news that the lesson plans are going to be coming out. So do I help my child do them, or do I let them do them solo? Do I sit them at the table and say, okay, you got to finish these worksheets because we've got to pass through the levels of, we've got to make sure that they are in the same place. I'm sure there's going to be some kind of respite. There's got to be consideration that the kids are coming back. They're not going to be exactly where they should be. But so should I make them do these workshops, these workbooks and all these things that we have available? Not that we can get them at Costco anymore. We can't.
Yeah. So whatever the schools are sending, definitely, they're sending us resources. We should take advantage and do the best we can. So like you said, sitting them down at the table is a great idea, and kind of planning out the day with them. So, in a grade 1 class, for example, we would say, this is what we're going to work on first. And then after that, we're going to take a break and have a snack. And then we're going to go outside for 20 minutes and we're going to get our energy up. Then we're going to come sit back down and we're going to work on math, and go over with the kids kind of the plan for the day, and be flexible. It might not go exactly as planned, and we're all learning as we go. So be ready for that. Maybe you want them to sit down for half an hour and the capacity they have in that time is 20 minutes, and be okay with that, but definitely, work through the resources that are provided to us. And I think it's a good idea, have a look and see first what it is, so that if they did need your help, you're there for them. But ideally, we want them working independently.
So I would teach them, let's say as addition, I teach them however they show us how to teach them. 1 + 1 = 2. Then I send them off, or I walk away, I guess, send them off to where, but walk away, let them do the work and then come back.
Yeah, well, I know so many parents are also, trying to work while their kids are at home. So if you're able to be at the table with them too, doing, maybe your work on the laptop while they're doing their work, like you said, set them up, explain, today this is addition, and maybe do a few examples with them first, so that they kind of know what it's all about. And then from there, get them working on their own. Every child is going to be so different that way, in terms of
there are modules out there. I know Geohistory is an app, Geohistory Map. That's a historical app that you can use to learn. They have little videos and stuff. And I know there's modules. When DJ was in a lower level of, like in high school and in elementary school, I used to go online and find the minister regulated courses, the ones that fall into the line. And it was fun for him. He was learning, and I'm not a great teacher, so I would expect that these modules, these little mini video clips, would help me out.
Definitely. Yeah. If there's anything like that, and there are so many things online, to help you, so that you don't feel so overwhelmed with having to teach it all yourself. Definitely Google is your friend, see what you can find, and, just take it as you go and see what works,
I noticed you had in your list of things we were going to talk about today, a friendly competition with the kids.
Yeah, so an idea that I had sent out to a friend, her boys are grade 2 and 4. She had asked me for some ideas. So I really want to promote during this time, just read with your kids, and then also have your kids read depending on the level they're at. If they're able to read independently, reading is just so important. And one way to make it fun, is have a little competition between kids. If you think your kids would be up for that, a race to see who could get to 30 books first, and make it fun, and even get involved yourself. If you're reading a novel, how many for you? Maybe it doesn't look like 30 books, but something else. Get the whole family involved and make it fun, and make learning while we're at home, the most memorable and good experience possible for everyone. Because it shouldn't be stressful. It shouldn't be stressful for the kids, and it shouldn't be stressful for you.
I think everybody needs to remember that everyone is home and
Exactly.
everyone is in the same boat. So torturing yourself thinking your kid is falling behind, this
Yeah.
and that, I mean, from a mother that has raised quite a few kids and they're in one is in university and the other ones are done university, it will all work itself out. Your kids are not going to be farther behind than the other kids. It's okay. Everyone is kind of doing the makeshift for until May 1st. You're
That's
not alone. It's different than if your kid was homesick by himself and everybody else is at school and things are
yeah.
moving
And
forward.
they're
Not what
missing.
we have.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Everyone's missing. That's just
yeah.
it. And, you know, share with your friends, you know, your kids' friends at school. If you're able to reach out to those parents, see what they're doing too.
Mhm.
I've heard of my kids, you know, in preschool, but one of his preschool friends, they had a FaceTime circle time with little songs with some other similar aged kids, you know. So if you can get your kids on FaceTime like that, where they're talking to their friends about the work they're doing, that will also get them more into what they're doing, you know.
Yeah, I think this is great. Thank you for all that you're doing.
Yes. Oh, well, you know, I wish I could do more.
I think we all do, but I think doing more is staying home at this point.
That's right.
That's
Exactly.
it. Everyone.
Yeah. So biggest message is no stress, have fun, make fun learning, you know, make learning fun, I should say, and just try and make it a good experience for everyone.
And remember that you're not alone. It's not you're not falling behind by yourself in a room. Everyone is in
Yes.
the exact same boat, and nobody's kid is coming back perfect.
Yes. And share, you know, if you find good resources, if your school, you know, sent out a resource, share with everyone so that everyone has, you know, these same resources to
Yeah,
find what works best.
yeah. All right. Thanks for coming on.
Yes. Thank you so much.